Hello, thank you for joining us for this episode. Today, I felt compelled to talk about a process. I see many people growing impatient with the processes of a life, whether that process is a man-made or natural. And everywhere we look, people tend to or try to circumvent a process. Quick gains seems to be the order of the day, where these gains are at the expense of depth and long-term growth. For me, that is a kind of worrying thing, a kind of disturbing to see people very much inclined to have successes in a very short time, or at least wish to do so. That is a growing concern from my part, and I would like to talk about that today. So, what do we mean by a process? In fact, a process is a very much a natural pathway of life. It is a route through each every each and every human being needs to go in order to grow, exist, and become. Maybe not two people have the same pathway or process because we are very much different in our makeup, calling, and circumstances. Our journey inevitably differ as well, even if we sometimes it's possible that we may have the same process in life, but the outcome and the experiences we have at the end are very much different. So we all have our own processes and also our own outcome of the processes. So for this reason, it's not merely enough to understand and accept there is a process in our life, but it's very important that we understand and learn and cherish processes. That processes are part of life, not they're something odd, something challenging that comes in our life, but they're part of life. So in that sense, we need to cherish and we need to enjoy it. So by rejecting a process, we are in fact rejecting a process that governs life itself. So we are rejecting a standard, a living style. So it is by resisting a process, we are resisting growth, we are resisting learning, we are resisting transformation. Process is a step towards growth and a transformation. So that by that we are resisting these very unique qualities of life, in fact. So in each of our life, in every stage of our life, whether that's comfortable or challenging, opportunities carries they are an opportunity for us to become our better version of ourselves. Processes are an opportunity that would help us to become a better person of our version. The question is, so if we see these complex life processes, what should we do? Like I said, we need to learn from it. We need to cherish it. We don't have to try to avoid processes. So if we maintain standards of life, and also, in fact, if we trust in a process, it has several benefits for our life. I would like to focus on 5 key benefits of trusting in a process. First benefit is it shapes us into a better person. Life process is a school. It is a school in which we learn lessons that classrooms may not offer. It is where character is formed and maturity is developed. You may go to school, any type of school, any level of uh, education. You may not have your characters formed fully, and maturity may not actually also developed as much as expected. But the process makes you that good person, that better person, and particularly a better version of yourself. So through processes, we learn patience, perseverance, and resilience. These are the essential qualities of life. Without the discipline of process, growth remains shallow and sometimes fragile. The second key benefit of a process is it cultivates compassion and understanding within us, within the person. So life never moves in our preferred pace. It never moves, it never does that. There are moments when events unfold before our own eye without our control, beyond our control. And we found ourselves powerless to change the directions and the speed of our life or the processes. So this experience of being powerless, lack of control in our life, enables us to understand that people go through the same process like ours. We begin to recognize that many people are fighting unseen battles and navigating processes just as complex as our own. Yeah, these processes makes us more understanding, gracious, and human. So that's why how you develop a compassion. That's why how you develop a feeling or an experience of trying to be in other person's boots. That would help you to be compassionate towards your friends, towards or a fellow human being. The third key benefit of a process in a life is it keeps us balanced and grounded. It keeps us very much balanced and grounded in our life. People who are truly experienced are those who have walked through both highs and the lows of life. They have seen successes and endured disappointments and and in fact exposed to both extremes and something in between, and helps a person remain balanced. If you see and experience both extremes of a process of a life, it could be highs and lows and both extremes and somewhere in between also, that will give you a very balanced and grounded experience. So you may not react very much emotionally. You may not go on board with every circumstances you face, and you can be a measured person, a balanced person, a grounded person in your life. So such individuals stay grounded, responding, and responding to circumstances, situation with wisdom rather than impulse. This is a very important quality that people need to have. The fourth key quality of a benefit of a process is it broadens our perspective and possibilities. So moving faithfully through each stage of life expands our horizon. It allows us to see new possibilities, consider different perspectives, and develop a deeper understanding and different worldview from ourselves. So we always growing up in a certain community, in a certain culture, gives us a different and unique worldview. So going through processes that life offers you will give you a completely different worldview than that you have experienced it or already held dear. So that's very important to engage in a society and in a diverse community, in a diverse environment, and also see a possibility and a perspective that would also lead you to your own destination. So often it is through the process that we discover insights that we could not have gained otherwise. Like we said earlier, it is in a school. Yeah, it's in a school that you never learn in a classroom. So this you may not gain those useful insight in your life if you may not have gone through those processes. So this is a very important perspective for social and your own life. In many cases, it's also through the process that we come to understand what we are truly made for and what we are called to pursue. Yeah, instead of giving you those qualities, it's also a process that gives you an opportunity to know what you called for and what are you made for. So very important to understand these qualities. The last key benefit of process is it finally leads us to our destination. Every person sets goals and it envisions a destination. A process, a bridge that connects vision with reality. Without a process, these visions, these dreams cannot be connected to reality, or they may not translate it to action. That's only actionable if you go through a process. So while journeys may be long, like these process journeys are maybe long and demanding, it is only through reliable process that we reach meaningful and lasting outcomes. If you wish to bring lasting and meaningful outcomes, you need to be patient with the process that life gives you. Skipping steps, avoiding steps may seem attractive to many, as we said at our introduction, but it often leads to incomplete results and unfulfilled life. Yes, it may give you a quick gains, but those quick gains may not be lasting results. They could be incomplete ones. They could be unfulfilling. Then, so what we need to, so if it gives us these key benefits, we need to embrace processes, embrace the journey, happy with the journey that life gives you. So we must learn to be at peace with the process. That process, as we said earlier, could be man-made or could be natural, but whatever process put in place, they are for our benefit. They don't harm us. They're not actually intended to harm us, but they are intended to shape us for our own good, to our better person. Seeking shortcuts or attempting to bypass the process may produce quick gains, as we said earlier, but such outcomes are often shallow and unsustainable. Quite usefully and quite importantly, they are unsustainable. Shortcuts, this is very important. Shortcuts cut, maybe they cut time, but they don't cut time only. They cut depth, fulfillment, and purpose.